Hi guys, welcome to this session in Power BI. In this module, I want to quickly go through how you can use the new calculation feature in your Visio. So it says new visual calculations, grayed out at the moment because there is no visual active. If I get myself a little line chart based on revenue and dates, I'll just open this up a little bit so you can see it, make it quite big. So I'll just tick on revenue. And then you need date of payment. I'll go for date of payment, like so. So date of payment, it's up and down a bit, that one. And then this now becomes active. So if I click on that, the bottom half of the screen opens up and you can see that you've got some information there and a calculation that you can add in. Now, if you don't want all of the dates to appear, if you open up the chevron, I can open this up and tick some of these off. So I don't want quarters to appear, and I don't want months, and I don't want days, and then this gets a lot tidier. So let's call this, well, I'll leave it as that because I'm going to use this FX, and in there you've got some pre-formatted functions, DAX functions. So running sum, you've got moving average. So running sum, I'll click on that. You only have one field, and basically that is going to be the revenue field. So you click on that and then you tick that, and then that will put that in there. So basically like a running total. So that's adding these up, as you can see there, 7 7 7 and 7 and a bit is 15 and something, and then that's going up to 30, and that's just running total. Now there are other ways of doing that as well. You can do that through quick measures, but I just want to show you this feature. Now to get off this screen, you need to click on back to report, and then you'll see that. Now you don't see that measure in this list, in your data list. You need to click on it here if you want to get back to it, and then you can actually edit it again. So you've got different options on this, edit, and then that should open that up again and you can see it there. So that's the first one. So what I want to do now, if I go back to that, you have to have a visual selected. I'll go new visual calculation, and then this time I want to get a different one. So another one in here is quite interesting. So you've got moving average. Let's click on that one. Moving average. Again, you've got field, which will be revenue again. So sum of revenue. And then the argument for it after the comma is how many periods do you want it. So if I put 6 there, that's like a 6 months. Let me just get rid of all of that. It's 6 months period. Then if I tick that, that will give me that moving average there, which is quite flat. Now another one I can do is if I click off this visual, get off that visual, and create a new visual. So if I go topic, find topic down the bottom here, and revenue, what I want is to know what the percentage of each topic is of the total. So I've got this visual selected, new visual calculation at the top there, and I'll just call this percentage of total, percentage of total, and then equals, and then I'll go on the FX, and I've got this option there, percentage of grand total, and it comes up with field. So the field is revenue, sum of revenue. Then we've got this collapse function. Now you could have typed this, I could have typed this, but it's going to be revenue again. So if you drop this little arrow down, you'll get the options there, sum of revenue. And then you have to give it another argument there, is what do you want to do it by? I want to do it by column and rows, and then that's the actual complete function done. And then if I tick that, that should give you the percent, but it doesn't format it to a percent. So to format it to a percent, if I click back on this over here, I need to put the format function in front of this divide function. So format, open the bracket on the format function, go right to the end of this function, do a comma, and then inside quotes you put the format you want, open quotes. So I want 0.00%. And then if I close the bracket on the format function and tick that, that should give me that information in the percent. Or I do a typo, so I click back onto it. What have I not done? I've not closed, just open that up a bit. I've not closed the quotes on that. Let's see if that works. And there we go. Formats it to percent. Now another one that you can do, if I've still got this one clicked, I go on new visual calculation. And this time I want to use the running sum. And it asks for the field again. I'll drop this arrow down and select on revenue. Tick that. So that gives you the running sum. And then I want to do another one. I want to do the difference versus previous, and you will get this field option again. So versus previous, and I'm going for sum of revenue and sum of revenue, so both of them, and see what this one drops in. If I tick that. So 25 is the revenue for the first course, then 36, which was a £10,000 plus increase, and then 14, which was a £21,000 decrease. So it's working fine, it's giving you that. And then you click away back to the report and you've got that visual sitting there, which you can then adjust and see like that. Now on these visuals over here, this is the only place that you can see them. As I said before, they don't appear over here. So you're basically using them within that visual. And if you drop the arrow down on each of these, they have some other functionality there. So you can rename it, for example, you can move it, you can format it. What you don't have is conditional formatting on these visuals, these visual calculations, where you would on that one, because that is not, or has not been created by the new visual calculation feature. Now, if this isn't active on your machine, you need to go to File and Options right down the bottom, and then when you get to Options, you go into Options again, and then what you need to do once Options comes up is you're selecting Preview Features, and you scroll down to make sure that the feature is on, Visual Calculations is ticked, which it is on mine, and then you click OK to that, and then that should activate it for you. And if I come back into the report page, so you didn't have to do it yourself, new measure, you created it through this. So that's all I want to talk about on this little video: how to create new visual calculations, how to make sure it's activated, and make it easy to do DAX functions. So hopefully this little video is of use. Thank you for your time, and I'll catch you on the next one.